Okay, welcome back, folks. Currently, it is 1-0 Newcastle. Another set of best of five. My co-commentator Thomas is joining me here.
Good evening, great to be here. Good evening, wonderful game so far. Be interesting to see how this one turns out in the end. Turns out in quite intense effect.
Back and forth. Both teams putting out great stuff. Essex girls had a very motivational mid-match speech. Alex Porter bringing the wise words of wisdom. Coming back for the second set right now.
Newcastle already a little bit earlier there. Is it too early for mind games?
Never too early for mind games.
So Essex will be looking for a quick response going down.
Essex girls seem very excited, very relaxed. That's a good sign. I never want to be too tense when you're down one.
An awful long way to go in this game still. A lot to be played for. Quarterfinal of the BUCS championship here.
They go from here to the semi-final. Not sure who they're facing.
And so here we go, getting ready for the second set. Newcastle 1 up.
Seem to have forgotten the ball for this set. They will be out momentarily. Sky with the great self-high five as she came off.
And it's going to be the Blaze. To get us underway here in the second set. And here we go.
Molly badass in the serve. See what she can do with it. Nice float. And the pass goes far. Michelle kills it.
Point straight on the board there for the Essex. That's for Newcastle. Sorry. Point for Essex.
1-0. Great start to the second set here. Oh, another nice looking serve. Well blocked by Michelle. Good up by Lana. Set to Michelle. Oh, another kill for her.
Fantastic play there. He'll take a 2-point lead here in the second set. Blaze continue to serve.
Well up by Lana. Good stack, good kill.
And so the Blaze continue to serve. Momentum is with them. They're really going to try to capitalise that here on the second set.
Fantastic to the combo of Millie and Sean. I'm not sure you got it. It went straight down either way.
Essex Blades dominating the start here of the second set. Newcastle able to get a look in. Can they keep that going?
Great swing by Newcastle. She pushed too far. Continue on their rally.
It's almost so the pressure starts to get to Newcastle just a little bit there.
Newcastle's battle. Newcastle timeout early on in the
Pressure was getting to them.
Mind games paid off.
5 unanswered points here at the start of the second. Blaze trying to come back from one set down. But they'll have been pleased with how they started.
Very much so.
All one-way traffic.
5-0. Great start to this.
And it's not just the scoreline, it's not just the way that Newcastle won. Really make any plays at all, everything they tried to do, just didn't work.
Right on, no opportunities. I feel the energy coming from the Essex girls right now.
Exactly, kind of feel it there needed. After that tense first set.
Molly Van Essen serves to continue the rally. That's an ace ball. That's an ace ball.
Big serve that was. Big serve that was.
Newcastle continues to have no answers here. No answers here.
Serves don't get much better than that. Really get much better.
They do not. They do not.
Can the trick be repeated? Can the trick be repeated?
Swung from Newcastle. Great block by the girls. Great block by the girls. Oh, well played. Oh, well played. Lana pushes it over. Lana pushes it over.
Well saved. That could have gone anywhere. That could have gone anywhere.
Good recovery by Millie. Good recovery by Millie.
And that ball's just been a little wayward. Well to get anything on it. Well to get anything direct it. Couldn't direct it.
Fantastic effort on that one. Fantastic effort on that one. Very long. First point from Newcastle. First point from Newcastle.
Newcastle will have needed that. Newcastle will have needed that to get the momentum. Get the momentum.
Can't take it all. Can't take it all.
First set. And so Newcastle set. So Newcastle set.
Big swing. Big swing. And a big point Essex. Point Essex.
And so the serve returns over to plate. Newcastle needs to get. Newcastle needs to get. I mean, you just hit the nerves. You just started to creep in. Started to creep in. They get that momentum.
They never come back into this with those little one-offs. You need to string together some. Michelle Daniel here to serve. Michelle Daniel here to serve.
Best spot to have seen in the game so far.
Good range right the middle to go all the way across. That's number 10 from Newcastle. Working hard.
So Newcastle keep the serve. Be able to capitalise on that here. Confusion there from Newcastle. They managed to recover it.
He's going to lose those high balls to the lifetime, imagine. Oh, fantastic block by Emily. Every time Newcastle begins to stifles that. Good up by Emily. Unfortunately, the block falls out of bounds. Back over to Newcastle, down 8-4.
So Newcastle reclaim the serve. Great serve from Newcastle.
Tough dig there from Michelle.
Put the ball in a difficult place. That was always going to be a tricky one to dig out. The result was another point to Newcastle.
Number 1 sends it over. Blocked out of bounds by Newcastle. Point to Essex. Serve to Charlotte.
That was well left. That's a skill in itself, because the natural instinct is, of course, to try and get to the ball. It takes something special to make sure you can leave it.
With very good court awareness, knowing where she was. She knew right where that line was and knew that was falling out.
Not quite enough on that one from Newcastle to get it over the net.
Miscue from number 5 falls short. Point to Essex.
So that puts Essex 10-5 up here in the second.
Another well shot serve by Charlotte. Oh, fantastic dig by Lena. Emily with a solid swing. It's deflected to the back row. Oh, another good up. The intensity is building on this one. Just a little far from Michelle. Very well worked, though.
Blades did well to keep the point alive for that long. There were lots of opportunities where that could have gone awry, but kept their heads in the game, in the right place.
Right, and the more you're moving around, the more you're out of place. It's easy to make a mistake there.
So Newcastle's serve.
Well played by Emily, very conscious up at the net, got those tips in right where they couldn't get to him.
Beautiful, intricate play. Delicate.
And Emily Bell to serve. That's an ace, folks. We are seeing a completely different Essex side here in this second set. They seem to really have taken their coach's words of wisdom and turned it around here.
Yeah, definitely up their game here. Scoreboard reflects that at the moment.
Oh, fantastic dig again by Lena. Just out of the reach from Molly.
So Newcastle take the ball. Scoreboard is 12-7 against them. Try and eat into that here with this serve. Set by Newcastle.
Well hit by Newcastle, deflected out of bounds by Essex. Brings the score to 12-8 Essex.
Now, it was a great shot, well placed. Good power on it, made it difficult to deal with.
The Blades still seem firmly in control here. 4-point lead, make that a 5-point lead, is still intact.
There's well left there.
Millie Smith coming in for Lena. And the fan favorite Sky Galad up to serve.
That's a great serve, dipped nicely, made it difficult. Set.
Great swing by Michelle, well up by Newcastle. Good reactions by Millie. Oh, fantastic block.
Great dig as well from Newcastle to keep that alive. Unfortunately, just went a little astray there.
The good thing here, even though Essex didn't get the point there, is we see they're not losing early on in the volley. It's going back and forth across the net at least 2-3 times before they're making any mistakes.
Just out of bounds there. And you have to say in this second set, it's more that Newcastle making those early errors, and they've had to bring their game up into this second set to match what the Blades have brought.
Right, exactly. The Blades' intensity has been up all set. Newcastle's just starting to match it right now. Fantastic swing by Michelle.
What a fantastic shot that was. There's no defending those. And so the Blades take the serve again. 14-10 here in the second.
Molly Van Essen to serve. They could not handle that fast floater. Too good.
And just misdirected that. That's turning the scoreboard against them. 5 points now, the Essex Blades lead. And we're away again.
Great swing from Newcastle. Brings it to 15-11.
So Newcastle needing to get a few points on the board here in quick succession. Second set is certainly by no means away from them, but they're going to need points quickly.
Well upped.
Great block. Set well.
Hit far by Newcastle. Brings it to 16-11 Essex, and they're quickly closing out this set.
It was set beautifully there from Newcastle. That could have gone anywhere. They could have put that anywhere they wanted. Perhaps just got a little bit overexcited.
Lena with the soft hands. Great swing by Charlotte. Fantastic. The environment here is riveting, folks. We have fans with mega horns and vuvuzelas. The new arena has really caught on with the student population.
Oh, it certainly has.
Good on Newcastle to beat the block there.
So Newcastle to serve here. Down 17-12. Great block.
Let's see if Essex can hold out for the long volley here.
Fingertip stuff at the net. It's a great shot from Newcastle, finding the space on the court.
And the long volley continues to be a thorn in the side of these Blades ladies tonight.
Now the long rally is just opening up that space on the Blades court, giving Newcastle more space to aim for, making it easier to get those points on the board. 4 behind.
Great swing by Charlotte, finds the space in the back.
Perfectly weighted shot, well placed. Maintains a 5-point lead. And Blades regain the serve.
Millie Smith up to send it over. Very elegant approach there.
Newcastle going to have to fight for this.
Great recovery, sending the free ball over.
Newcastle did fantastically well to save that. That could have been disaster at their own making. And in the end, massively over here by the Blades.
Thought that might have been tipped by the Newcastle blockers there, but the ref has called it out.
That is a point that Newcastle will be very pleased to win. By all accounts, early on in that rally, they should have lost it. Well recovered.
Good dig by Lena. Great recovery. Ball over to Newcastle. Another great up by Lena.
Fantastic tip at the net.
I have a feeling Essex is going to get this one.
Unlucky.
Unfortunately, Jason, the block is out of bounds.
It's becoming a tight second set. Newcastle back within 3 now. And with the serve. Let's see what they do with this one.
Good soft hands by Michelle to keep that up.
Grazing the net on its way over. Great block. It's one of the most unfortunate points you can concede, running into your own player, into your teammate.
Got tangled up and ran out of space there. Nothing they can do about that. That serve may have gone out, but I respect her opinion. She had to go for it. Coming into a short break here. 18 points to Essex, 17 points to Newcastle.
Very tight game. A few more errors starting to creep in now from the Blades.
Yeah, they had a pretty good hold on this set the whole time. Right up until the last couple points, Newcastle's been crawling back in. Let's see if Alex Porter can excite them again and turn them around.
So not too long to go here. in the second, scoreboard ticking away.
Essex girls come back out, still looking very confident, very composed. Service coming over from number 1 from Newcastle.
They're going to need to cut out some of the errors that have been creeping in. Newcastle are going to hope to try and capitalise on those. Great block. What a fantastic block out the net from Newcastle.
Ties it up here at 18.
Where has that 6-point lead that the Blades had early on in this set, where has that gone? Newcastle with the opportunity to take the lead here from this serve. Not happened though, it was well left.
Called out by the touch. Point to Essex. They take the lead back.
And so the Blades to serve. Slender 1-point lead.
Charlotte to look for the crucial point here. Great swing. Fantastic up by Michelle.
Almost caught Newcastle out there, but they reacted well. Set from the Blades. Well blocked. Fingertips.
Oh, fantastic tip by Emily.
Deft touch wins the point. Newcastle expecting a harder hit there. Wasn't needed. Ball just needs to be gently caressed over the net.
Great serve as it skims over the net. Falls dead in the middle of all the Newcastle defenders.
Yeah, Newcastle feel slightly hard done by there. Calling a timeout. If they hadn't caught the net, they would have been in a great position to deal with it, but
that is the way the cookie crumbles.
it really is. And so Essex in a lot.
Essex back to a 3-point lead here.
It's a lot stronger position than when the last timeout was called.
Just a few quick points to close out this one. Bring it back to 1-1 in the match.
Timeouts are never long enough for a coach, are they?
Never. All of my coaches, they would abuse that timeout until the ref was coming back over and yelling at them.
Okay, so the Blades return the serve. And let's see what they can do with it. Unfortunately, straight into the net.
A slight miscue there brings it down to a 2-point lead for the Blades. Serve to number 10 from Newcastle.
So Newcastle going to want to score this, not only bring it back to 1, but get past that psychological barrier of the 20.
I believe he's going to call a carry here. Oh, double. Not sure how he called a double. She played it with one hand. Very confused about this one.
Well, the ref is convinced, he is unmoved. Newcastle within 1. And Newcastle tie it. Controversial call.
That could change the way of this game. That 1 point turns into a quick 2-3 for them, and that's a set gone. But Essex girls remain confident. It's still a tied game. 4 points to them, they close it out.
You can see the confidence coming back into the Newcastle team with each point. They've clawed their way right back into this set. And taking the lead.
Great effort from Michelle to get that one just too far for her reach. As Essex goes down 1-0. They seem to they're getting a little rounder early on in the points where they were just losing the later points earlier. So hopefully they can regain their composure and close this one out here.
So Newcastle trying to get the lead that will turn into a set win, and it's another miss hit from the Blades, which puts Newcastle within 2 of taking this second set. Substitution for the Blades.
Sarah Edwards coming in for Emily Bell. See if she can change the tempo here and turn this thing around real quick.
Blades really need a point there. And a miss hit from Newcastle gives Essex that point that they need, closes it to 1. Very tight end to this second set.
You can almost feel the intensity coming from both sides here.
It's palpable. Absolutely palpable. Blades can tie it up here.
Sarah Edwards to serve.
Great dig from Newcastle. Deft touch. Just over. That puts Newcastle within 1 and the serve.
Newcastle at game point here. Essex close behind at 22.
So the 5 of Newcastle to serve. They're going to be hoping that they can wrap it up here. The Blades doing everything they can to stop that. Set from Newcastle. The block is down, return on the Blade side of the court. 25 to 22. Newcastle win the set, take a 2-set lead.
It's going to be a very tough spot for them to crawl out of. But these girls have great confidence in themselves. They've been working hard all year. And this is a quarterfinal match. They're going to leave it all out there.
So a little bit of a calm here whilst the teams swap sides. The Blades had a great thing going at the start of that second set. Great tenacity from Newcastle to come back, alongside a few errors starting to creep in from the Blades.
Yeah, you can see it turning on the tides right around 15, 16 points for both teams, and Essex seemed to slow down a little bit where Newcastle has put the foot on the pedal.
The Blades are going to need to have a similar start to this third set.
Hopefully they can carry it through to the end, though.
That's going to be the key thing. To give up a lead, lose the set, they're going to need a strong start. Or those doubts start to creep in, and that is the worst thing that you can do, particularly in a game like this.
Definitely. It's not impossible for them to win 3 sets here. I mean, they've swept teams before, win 3 sets at the beginning. Should be just as easy to win third, 4th, and 5th set.
We know that if any team has the ability to come back, the strength of character, it's the Essex Blades.
Yeah, I mean, they're modeled after the Blades of the Samurai, so you know they got some fire left in them.
It's something that the Newcastle team's really going to have to watch out for, because it's a team you write off at your peril.
Yeah, it's easy to get real overconfident when you're ahead 2-0. If they start getting lazy, a little lackadaisical, it's an opportunity for Essex to come in and get some points.
First couple of points in this third set could be vital. They could be so essential to how this set and game turns out.
Definitely. Essex needs to come out and set the tone here. Let the Newcastle girls know that they're going to take this one right away.
So the team's called back onto the court for the start of the third. Newcastle are up 2-0 here in this crucial game. And they've looked good for their 2-set lead.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in control of the game, but Essex had that good 15 points of the first set, or the first 15 points of the last set, rather, where they were definitely dominating, they were on fire, they were doing what they had to do. Hopefully they can bring that back right now.
Well, they'll have to see what they can do from a Newcastle serve to get us underway here in the third set. And here we go. First point straight on the board.
That is exactly how they needed to start that one. Perfect pass. Set was exactly where it needed to be, and a flawless swing by Michelle to kill it.
Yeah, it was a great set to be able to make that space for the shot, to move Newcastle just slightly out of position, get that angle, and the Blades take the first point and now have the serve. Set from Newcastle.
Great hands by Malley. And Michelle gets up in the net, puts it down. 3-0 Newcastle.
And it was just
2-0 Newcastle. Or Essex, sorry.
2-0 Essex, yes. It was just tips on the Newcastle side, and it put the ball a little bit further out than where they perhaps would have liked to have received that. That cleared the way for that shot. The Blades have the serve. Great comeback play from Newcastle.
The hit was called in. However, the Blades girls seem to think that it had been out, so could be another controversial call there.
It was a point that Newcastle really needed. Great serve. Really fantastic serve from Newcastle. Not much you can do to dig those ones out.
It seems like the whole roster, all 9 of these girls can serve very, very well. Fantastic recovery from the Blades, unfortunately killed by Newcastle.
Blades just lost a little bit of shape there. Gave Newcastle space just to drop the ball into. There was nothing they need to do more than that. And that is gone the wrong way for Newcastle. Levels this third set at 3-3. Essex Blades.
A sense of urgency from Newcastle, it seems, in this game. They're almost like they want to get over here in the third set. They don't want to go to another third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah, the tempo's definitely up. And long from the Blades. I think they thought it had been touched on the way through.
Sometimes I just cannot tell when it's up in the net. You got forearms going up to block it, and it almost always seems like it's tipped.
The ref well placed to make that call. Was right by his position.
And another hit goes long for the Blades, brings the score to 5-3 Newcastle.
Yeah, absolutely no doubting whether that one had been touched or that was straight through and just went deep. Newcastle retain the serve. Here's the number 10. And another one goes long.
Essex girls need to dial it in here, get a little more precise. Like they're hitting the ball well, it's just going a tad too long each time.
That's 3 points that the Blades given up in succession from long balls. Newcastle have done well to put them in that kind of position.
Good recovery by Newcastle.
Just unable to get across in time to save that one from Newcastle. Slightly wayward tip, close to the net.
Very good fight by the Blades there, just as the tide seemed to be turned in towards Newcastle. Come back and get a very crucial point.
Yeah, they were in danger there of being swept away. 3 shots long in succession, 3 points given up from that. It's easy to let that get to you. But not the Blades. They have the serve. Set there for the Blades. Tip by Newcastle. Just unable to get to that ball, get it over the net in time.
7-4 serve to Newcastle.
And there's the serve. Well played from Newcastle. The ball just going a little bit far from the Blades, calling a timeout here after the way that third set has started. Just went a little bit too fast, so Newcastle were able to get to the net, just tip it back.
I think a good time for a timeout here by the Blades. Newcastle's really starting to show some composure, starting to turn up the tempo. Take the timeout, slow it down for the Blades, let them get back and let them get their confidence back up, maybe with a quick 1-2 points.
Yeah, there's some confident-looking faces around in that Newcastle huddle.
They seem very intense yet relaxed, and it's a tough time to see that.
So they're 8-4 up, 2 sets up. Can't blame them for having a little bit of a smile at the moment.
It's fair enough.
As long as they don't come complacent, there is still a lot to do.
Great swing by Sky, well up by Newcastle.
Great block.
Huge block by Charlotte and Sky.
It's literally got the crowd on its feet.
They cannot do anything about that one. Charlotte got up and there was nowhere to put that ball through.
No, absolute textbook block there from the Blades. They get the serve.
Great serve, a lot of heat on that one.
Newcastle having to scramble a little bit there. But another fantastic block, this time coming in from Newcastle.
It all starts with a great pass. Lana had a good up there. Molly didn't have to move around too much. Good soft hands. Easy kill for Sky. Another good serve here from Charlotte.
Placement of that wasn't quite right. Made it difficult to deal with.
I imagine that's got to be a tough shot there, going for the overhand pass.
So Newcastle with a 3-point lead, get the serve. Just tapped the net on its way through. Blades trying to find the space.
Sneaky move by Charlotte, well defended by Newcastle.
It's gone a long way up. What a fantastic shot from Newcastle.
Newcastle continues to dominate in these long volleys. It's just holding out to see who makes the first mistake, and unfortunately the Blades keep getting stuck.
There's not much you can do when the ball comes flying at you. At great speed, not that far away when it's hit. Very well placed shot that. And so just tips over the net there. There didn't need to be much on it. Just found that awkward.
There. Went up like she was going to set, tipped it over, well placed.
Just found that awkward place where it's difficult for the Blades to deal with. Newcastle are able to find the space on the court, the space to put the ball a little bit more easily.
Oh, there it is. Sky Galette with the big kill.
But the Blades making a fantastic response. That's the kind of point they need to be winning. As the ball finally makes its way back from behind the curtain. So we've got the Blades to serve, 4 points down. And it's just not quite got over the net. She didn't look comfortable when she jumped for that.
Yeah, it seemed that the toss might have pulled her a little bit away. Maybe a short toss. She didn't really get to get a full jump in.
It's those self-inflicted points that really come back to hurt you later on in the game. Just delicately
Very cheeky by number 10 to just tip it
popped
right
over the
block.
top of the block. And so Newcastle have the serve. Fantastic kill by the Blades. The set was positioned brilliantly. And that shot was played right into the space. You could see the channel open on that angle.
Yeah, I mean, where we're sitting, we got to see that perfectly. The pass perfectly placed to the setter. Well-placed set, and just an absolutely devastating kill. Great block by Molly. Falls out of bounds.
Yeah, if that shot before had been any harder, it would have come straight up and hit us.
I cannot handle that right now. I can only hold the mic. Can't catch a volleyball.
So Newcastle have a 6-point lead here in the third. 14-8 up. There's the serve. Not quite enough on that tip. Well recovered from the Blades. That could have gone straight into the net and stayed there.
The Blades fall victim to another long volley again.
It seems to be that space just opens up. The longer that the rallies go on, Newcastle seem to be slightly better at holding their shape from particularly a defensive perspective. Comparative acres for them to aim at. That's what the Blades have got to go against, and it's starting to show on the scoreboard now here in the third. 16-8 up. Blades are going to need some points. They're going to need a fair few of them. They're going to need them soon.
They're going to need a very big rally very soon.
Newcastle really trying to take this game by the jugular. Just misjudged that one.
Caught her higher in the chest, didn't get her arms to it. Sometimes those floaters take weird dips and dives right at the last second.
So Newcastle keep the serve. And another misplace, another timeout called. 10 points down in such a crucial set.
Newcastle showing pure class right now. Keep stringing together 3-4 serves at a time. They're not taking 1 point at a time.
So what we can hear from the Newcastle coach, just saying keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need to change anything. They're up 18-8, looking good. Hopefully there's some more intensity over on the other side of the court in the Essex huddle.
I think they'll be happy with how this third set's been going so far, Newcastle.
I would hope so. They seem to be enjoying themselves.
Only conceded a few points at the start of this set. Seems to have continued from where they left off on the end of the second. And for the past 5 minutes or so, it's been largely one-way traffic. Dug out well, though, there from the Blades.
Number 11 from Newcastle continues on her rally. She's had to serve the last 7 or 8 points right now. As the fans try to throw her off her game, number 11 continues to serve very well. But the Blades defended that great. Got it up. Great kill by Michelle.
It's gone about 12 rows back. So the Blades with the serve here. 10 points down. Newcastle only 6 from wrapping this up.
Can Molly Van Essen start a big rally here?
They're going to need it, the Blades. Set and...
well struck by Michelle.
Fantastic shot. Newcastle tried to dig it out, but again, straight into the crowd.
Jasmine from the girls' basketball team seemed very confused with a volleyball in her hands.
And Blades trying to get a few more points, nice and quickly.
Not much the Blades can do there. Very well set, very well swung.
Newcastle take that one. They're now on to 20 points. So it's not just a 10-point deficit, it's the psychological effect of that Newcastle score being a digit higher. Blades dig that out. It's gone straight over and it's out. 21 for Newcastle.
Hoping for that to fall inside the green line. Looked like they might have misjudged it, but alas, it fell out.
No, it was very well left from Newcastle. They have the serve. Dug out well, but it's gone straight over. Wafted over. Great block.
Newcastle. Newcastle puts it back over. Another swing by Michelle.
Somehow managed to save that. How have they kept that one going?
The free ball comes over. The set is up from Mali. And the kill from Michelle. Let's see if this can start the rally they desperately need.
Well, Newcastle might have lost that point there, but what was really interesting to see was how quickly they got back into position from the ball going deep out of their own volition. They had to move fast. Blades just found a fantastic shot. Nothing wrong with the Newcastle defence there. Tipped but not blocked.
Ball's up very high, and the free ball comes over from Essex.
And
great
that's
recovery.
Just kept in, well played. Close to the net, and what a kill. Newcastle number 10 with a fantastic shot, finding that space in what was quite a congested part of the court.
Yeah, just very well placed. Too much pace on that for the girls, for the Essex team to adjust.
And it's the number 10 for Newcastle who serves. Newcastle just 3 points off now. Attempted block, but it fell out of bounds. A point for the Blades, but a point at this point isn't enough. Going to need a succession of these.
Millie Smith serving to start the rally here.
Blades can't really afford to give any points up at this stage of the game.
Newcastle again finds the space open in the middle.
Absolutely gaping area for them to play that through.
And with 2 points to go, Newcastle puts on number 12 to serve.
They're going to look to try and get this wrapped up following this service.
Number
Very
12
elegant
fights off
serve.
the hecklers, puts it over.
Straight into the net from the Blades. So here we go. It's 24-12 to Newcastle in the second set. Looking to kill this off. Another elegant serve. Great point from the Blades, rallying when they needed it.
It's not done yet.
Really rallying round. Blades will never go down without a fight.
That's what you like to see. It's been too long of a season for them to give up too easily.
It's a long fight back, but it's not impossible. It's going to take something special. There's no doubt about that.
And that's it, folks. Newcastle University wins the women's quarterfinal.
It's a shame for the Blades that that's how it ends, with a self-inflicted point into the net. Newcastle, on the balance, you have to say, had the edge for most of the game.
Newcastle looked very well conditioned today, but you gotta give props to the Essex girls. Very, very diverse team. They have girls from the U.S., Greece, England. Big mix of players came together and did a great job making it into this quarterfinal this year. So, gotta give up for the girls for working very, very hard.
But that's to take nothing away from a consummate performance from Newcastle. Played very, very well, very strongly. Blades can definitely be proud of the performance they put in.
Yeah.
Fought all the way through. Didn't go their way on the day, but it's been a great campaign.
Certainly, I mean, they've been very entertaining all year. They've played their hearts out, and you can't ask for much more.
No, absolutely not.
And just a reminder, starting here at 7:30, there will be the women's basketball game. They're also in the playoffs, and they'll be playing, I believe, Durham University.
So we've got about 10 minutes left of the coverage here on Rebel as we dissect that game. And it was a fascinating game to watch. What was great here in the Essex Sport Arena, this new facility, was the crowd. They really got behind the Blades. Obviously, not exactly a partisan crowd. It's very, very much a home crowd for the girls.
Certainly. I mean, it's very impressive to see. They went from the small gym only a few months ago. They'd get 10 spectators, often just parents and friends. And now there's people coming out showing interest in the sports here. The new arena started a very sport-oriented culture here at Essex pretty quickly.
Which is fantastic. And that's what we like to see. We always make the comparison about how university and college sport works in the States with these huge 90,000 seat stadiums. But here in the UK, we're starting to develop that culture, and it's facilities like this one here that are really going to start making that become a reality.
Yeah, it's interesting to see it grow at the university sports, because it seems like the big sports here in the UK, football, rugby, a lot of it is academy-based, and there's not really much room for growth for the university games. But they're bringing in other sports like volleyball, basketball, rugby sevens, and Essex has done a good job of turning these into scholar sports, bringing in high-caliber athletes from all over.
It's continually growing as well, and the Blades, every year we see they're going from strength to strength, not just here in volleyball, but across the board. So for the future of the Essex Blades, very promising, and we should see some great things, not just for the rest of this year, and with an eye looking forward, of course, to Derby Day, but also in the years to come.
Certainly, they've done a great job over in the sports department with Dave Perry, Sid Flesher. They really put a lot of effort into this, and they're very passionate about it, and that's what you like to see. It's more than just their job. They enjoy building the program here.
And it's a program that works. It really is. And it's great to see. Obviously, you're inside the program. You've had that experience.
Yeah.
As an athlete who's part of the Blades, what does it mean to you? What do you take away from that and the support you get?
So it's interesting for me. I mean, as long as a lot of other athletes too, being Americans coming over and getting a scholarship to play here, it's very rewarding, and it's an awesome opportunity. It's cool to see the growing sporting culture in the universities in the UK. Really, just there were some shocks when we got here. Things are done differently, but all in all, it's awesome to see it growing and seeing the turning of the tides, really, and letting the university sports start to become a bigger thing.
No, it is. It's fantastic to see. It's really exciting. But let's turn our attention back to this game that we've seen today. And the first set, Newcastle, they came out strong. They performed from the off, and the Blades were always kind of on the back foot a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the Blades, they didn't seem unprepared, but they seemed a little bit behind compared to the Newcastle girls. Newcastle girls came out hot. They were very confident coming into it, and they just kept finding the space. They knew what they wanted to do with the ball, and they did it.
And the Blades tried to fight back into that. Didn't quite come off for them, but they made an effort of it. But it was at the start of the second set that we really saw that comeback start.
Yeah, the start of the second set, Blades came out on fire. They went up. They held a 5-6 point lead for most of the set. And right towards the end, they had a few long volleys that they just couldn't really string out long enough.
Is that where it went wrong for the Blades today?
Yeah, I'd say so. Those long volleys, especially in that second set, where they would just get caught out of position, running around, chasing the ball around, and then Newcastle would have a smart play and find the space.
There was a lot of space that was created that way. It's something we spoke about a couple of times throughout the course of the game, was about how Newcastle, when they were on the defensive, when the ball went deep of their own volition, they were very quickly back into their shape defensively, ready for what the Blades had to throw at them, in a way that the Blades didn't quite do so well.
Yeah, and that might just be a different experience. I don't know the Newcastle roster, but a lot of them seem much more sure of themselves. Not to say that Essex girls weren't, but when they'd get out of position, they weren't in such a rush to get back. The Newcastle girls very much so every time they made a play, they'd get back into position right away, and that was huge for them on the long points especially.
So the Blades, they had that strong lead at the start of the second set. It went away. They ended up losing that one. A very tight set, competitive set, great set to watch.
Of course. They looked good. They showed glimmers of hopes in the third, but then Newcastle really just turned it on, and there was not much Essex could do from there.
No, we can see over just away from us here that the Blades team in their post-match huddle with the coaching staff. If you're the coach of that team, what are you saying to them right now?
I'm just congratulating them on a good season, thanking them for making my job easier. I mean, they're very easy girls to work with. They're very hard workers, all very good natural athletes. And I think they're just having a good talk over there, reminiscing on the season and all the good they did. I mean, they played phenomenally all year. They won probably 90% of their matches at least. And it's tough to see them come down to this, but that's sports. Playoffs are playoffs, and sometimes you lose.
Sometimes you do, and for Newcastle, it's going to be a very long journey home, but they'll be very happy that whole way back. The next step, I mean, they've played well here. It's a consummate performance, we've said during the commentary. Could they go all the way based on what we've seen tonight?
Very well-composed team. I mean, what we saw in that second set there shows that they could go all the way. I think their ability to come back and fight back from being down 5-6 points, and there was times when they would come back within 2, and then Essex pulled away to 5-6 again. And that ability to keep fighting back and not giving up to the end of the set, that really shows heart that I think could take them to the finals.
Well, we'll see. We'll be tracking them, seeing how they get on. If you were to kind of sum up this game in just a few words, how would you describe it?
I'd say it was very exciting and great back and forth action. I mean, even though Newcastle wasn't in control, it was awesome to see the fight from both sides.
Fantastic. Well, Brian, thank you so much for your time, your expertise this evening.
My pleasure.
It's been great to sit alongside you and watch a fantastic game. Here on Rebel, we've brought you live coverage of the women's volleyball quarter-final. It was a victory for Newcastle, not what the Blades and the faithful here in the Essex Sports Arena would have wanted to see. But a great game, great performance, and from all of us here at Rebel, from Brian and from Thomas, thank you much for joining us. Goodbye.